Okay, be honest with yourself for a second here. What is the absolute biggest mistake you make on payday? We all know that amazing Friday payday feeling, right? You log into your bank account, see that fresh deposit, and for a minute, you feel like absolute royalty. But for a lot of us, the literal second that money comes in, it immediately starts flowing right back out. Bills, dinners out, 5 different streaming subscriptions, you know the drill. Well, what if I told you that you need to completely rethink your payday habits? Seriously, building real, lasting wealth, it doesn't actually rely on having some massive million-dollar income. It relies entirely on having the right systems in place.
So, welcome to this explainer. I'm so thrilled you're here, because today we are diving deep into the Wealth Building Blueprint. We're going to unpack a clear step-by-step roadmap that totally demystifies personal finance. No confusing jargon, just straightforward structured strategies drawn from the absolute best financial frameworks out there to help you take back control of your financial future.
Here is our agenda for today. 1. Pay your future self first. 2. Facts over feelings. 3. Learn before risking. 4. Consistency creates wealth. And 5. Review regularly. All right, let's jump right into part 1. Pay your future self first. Think of your income like a giant pie. The absolute first slice you cut out of that pie should always be your savings. Ideally, you want to aim to lock away 10 to 20% of your income immediately. If we carve out a healthy 15% for savings, that leaves the remaining 85% for your expenses and your lifestyle. You've got to treat that savings slice as a non-negotiable bill, a bill you owe directly to your future self.
And the difference between success and failure here often just comes down to timing. The ideal behavior, saving immediately after payday. But the common mistake we all make is waiting until the end of the month just to see what's left over. And why is waiting such a huge problem? Because, well, human nature practically guarantees we're going to spend whatever is easily available to us. If the money is just sitting there in your checking account, you will find a reason to spend it, for sure. Saving first completely removes that temptation.
I really want you to let this sink in. Build your savings before you build your lifestyle. That is the big, punchy takeaway here. As your income goes up over time, you need to increase that savings percentage before you upgrade your car, or move into a fancier apartment, or buy that designer wardrobe. Your future self absolutely must get paid before your current lifestyle gets an upgrade.
Okay, transitioning into the psychology of money, we arrive at step 2, facts over feelings. To really get this, we have to look at the science of behavioral finance. This entire field basically shows us that emotions, specifically fear and greed, often lead people to make just terrible financial decisions. I mean, we've all seen friends rush to buy some trending crypto coin just because it was going up and everyone on social media was hyping it, right? But listen, just because everyone around you is excited doesn't mean it's actually a good idea. Excitement is not evidence. There is such a stark difference in how successful people approach these moments. The smart move is asking what hard, cold facts actually support a decision. The dangerous approach is buying in just because an investment is popular right now. Good investors follow the evidence. Poor investors completely cave to social media hype and peer pressure. To combat those wild emotions, you need to remember one absolutely crucial number: 24. You need to enforce a mandatory 24-hour cooling-off period before you make literally any major financial commitment. So here's a highly actionable 3-step procedure to guide you through that cooling-off period. Step 1. Force yourself to wait at least 24 hours. Step 2, and please do not skip this one. Physically write down exactly why you want to invest. Actually putting pen to paper genuinely changes how your brain processes the choice. And step 3, look at what you just wrote and honestly ask yourself if your reasoning relies on cold, hard facts, or if it's just being driven by emotions and the fear of missing out. This simple little pause can literally save you from disastrous impulsive choices.
Moving right along to our third principle: learn before risking.
Before you put a single dollar into anything, you must study how the investment actually works. You need to understand precisely how profits are made, and honestly, just as importantly, how losses happen. Don't stop asking questions until everything is crystal clear to you. And please, never ever let anyone rush you into investing. If a salesperson or even a friend is pressuring you to act right this second because the deal won't last, that false urgency is your immediate cue to walk away. Never assume that the promise of high returns automatically equals a good, safe investment.
It really all boils down to this incredibly simple truth: your knowledge is your first investment. Educating yourself is the ultimate prerequisite to risking your capital.
You've got to invest in your own understanding way before you invest your hard-earned cash.
Now let's move to phase 4 and see how this builds into long-term growth. Number 4, consistency creates wealth.
You know, one of the most dangerous financial traps out there is the myth of the future big paycheck. We constantly tell ourselves, oh, I'll start saving when I finally get that massive raise. But let's contrast saving something, even a really small amount every single month consistently, versus the trap of waiting until you earn some larger, mythical income to finally start. Guys, you do not need a huge income to build wealth. By saving consistently, even during the tough times, you allow your money to grow steadily over many, many years, rather than just crossing your fingers and depending on one big, lucky financial break.
What's really relieving about this concept is how it instantly takes all the pressure off. Consistency beats perfection. You don't need one huge, perfect financial win. You don't need to perfectly time the stock market or have the ultimate flawless budget spreadsheet. All you need is a steady, relentless commitment over the long haul. Avoiding skipped contributions is just far, far more powerful than waiting for the perfect moment.
And finally, we reach our 5th and final step, the maintenance phase. Review regularly. What gets measured gets improved. It's a universal rule of business, and guess what? It is absolutely a universal rule of personal finance too. If you don't know where your money is going, you can't possibly know if you're actually moving toward your goals. Regularly checking your progress allows you to spot little problems early and make much better, proactive decisions.
To make this super easy, adopt this practical checklist as your routine. Make it a monthly habit to review your income and expenses so you can track exactly where your money goes. And while you're at it, check those savings goals every month to ensure you're actually making progress. When necessary, be a little ruthless. Remove extra, unnecessary spending to free up more capital. And finally, stay adaptable. Adjust your financial plan whenever your life situation changes. Doing this prevents the absolute worst mistake, just ignoring your finances entirely until a massive disaster strikes.
Ultimately, the real secret to unlocking wealth comes down to this. The more attention you give your money, the better it works for you. Simple, structured, and consistent attention. That's the whole shebang. It really is that straightforward.
So we've walked through the entire blueprint. You've seen the logic, the psychology, and the systems. Now I want to leave you with one final, provocative question to ask yourself right now. Will you choose to build your savings before you build your lifestyle? The choice is entirely in your hands. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I highly, highly encourage you to put these systems into practice starting on your very next payday.